Like, a lot of people don't realize the last pharaoh of Egypt was Cleopatra. She had a child with Caesar, a white man. And then that was the last of Egypt. Egypt got annexed after that by the Romans. I should tell you something. This is why you need to learn history so you don't repeat the same thing.
Every year, Loon, there's an energy pattern that oversees or rules or influences that calendar year. You with me? The energy pattern for 2026, June 6th, 2026 to June 5th, 2027 is known as Osai Meiji. Stay with me on this. Osai Meiji. Osai Meiji, to make it simple, because this is a very big thing,
Complex.
but I'm going to make it real simple.
Right.
Osai Meiji is the energy pattern of the great invisible mothers. This is feminine energy, Loon. It is not evil, but it is in the dark. It is the energy of women, spirits, female spirits, not human beings. These are feminine spirits that God created before he even made this planet. You see, their job is to oversee the balance of the universe, right and wrong. They are the overseers and the protectors of black women, feminine energy. And for men who don't treat women well, they can destroy your life. Why am I bringing this up, Loon? For you, for me, for him, for every black man in the world. This is not the year to be playing around with women. You hear what I'm telling you? You playing with this one, but she want more? Make her your queen, let her go.
Yeah.
If you're a polygamist, let her know, let her decide. This is not the year to play with the hearts, minds, and emotions of women, because this is the year of the primordial mothers. These spiritual energies will whip your ass. I'm telling you right now, if any of your homies hit you up and say, Loon, I was just in a bad car accident. Loon, I just got diagnosed with this. Loon, I just lost this, right? Loon, my wife just left me. The first thing you should ask them, how have you been treating women this year?
Many people still believe that this type of food is not hygienic, but the production process inside this factory might surprise you. Before entering the production area, all workers must go through strict sanitation and disinfection procedures. Every morning, workers feed frozen chicken breast blocks into a cutting machine where they are chopped into smaller pieces. The chicken is then transferred to a high-capacity grinder and finely minced together with pork, creating a smooth meat mixture. Next, the mixture is sent to a giant industrial mixer where the two types of meat are thoroughly blended. Meanwhile, in a separate mixing tank, workers combine seasonings, starch and food coloring according to carefully controlled formulas. This mixture helps improve binding, elasticity, and gives the product its characteristic color. The additive mixture is then poured into the tank containing the ground meat. The system continuously mixes the ingredients until they are fully incorporated, producing a smooth, elastic meat mixture with the distinctive appearance of ham. Next, the meat mixture is transferred into a hopper to begin the forming process. The mixture is fed into an automatic extrusion machine, which stuffs it into durable plastic casings, creating large, long ham logs. The ham logs are then placed onto carts and moved into a high-temperature steam chamber for cooking. Once fully cooked, they are rapidly cooled in a refrigerated room. Finally, the giant ham logs are removed and sent through an automated industrial slicing machine, where they are cut into thin slices. The slices are then further shredded into fine strips before being packaged. Would you like to eat this ham?
You see, people don't understand how wild this moment actually was. People think Tom Cruise went on Oprah and jumped on a couch, but nah, it was a lot more insane than you think. You see, Tom Cruise had a problem. Around the mid-2000s, he was considered the Hollywood poster boy. He was the perfect Hollywood star. So when he pulls up to Oprah's show, that's who people thought they were getting. Oprah said, and here is Tom Cruise. The crowd was going wild. They said, wow, Tom! Tom said, hey, how are you? Yeah. And here's where things start to get wicked. Yeah, it get wicked right at the start. Tom start, being a little touchy with Oprah. Like, he grabbing, he like, man, I'm excited. She like, oh, okay, Tom. Everybody in the crowd said, now this is Tom. He be getting excited. Tom said, okay, but really though, Oprah, you have some questions for me? She said, yeah, question one. Tom said, whoa! She said, what? He said, huh? She said, so your relationship with Katie Holmes, how's that going? Everything good? Tom said, God, Katie Holmes, I love it. Now peep Tom's hands. You could tell how much he gripping them things from here. Oprah knows she in danger. Look at her face. She said, But she's still trying to play it cool. She said, oh man, Tom, like, I never seen you like this before. You must really like her. And that's when Tom really got to wilding out. He said, hell yeah, I like her. I love her. I want some more of her. I added that part and he actually didn't really say that. Oprah getting excited too first. He said, okay, boy, she shouldn't have done that because she got him real riled up. He said, you excited? He said, let me show you how excited I am. He jumped on the couch for a second and he hops right back off. She said, God damn. He sits right back down. He said, nah, but really though, like, let's talk it out. Oprah said, Tom said, no, ask your question. I'm not finna do nothing. Ask your question. Oprah said, Tom leaps on the couch. He started jumping up and down. He said, God, I like Katie. I like her. He's jumping up and down. Oprah said, he excited for real. Here's where it starts to get wickeder. Oprah said, well, I got something that might make you more excited. Katie Holmes is in the building. Tom said, oh, Lord. She here? She here right now? Oprah said, come on out. Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes don't show up. You know, the crowd cheering all that. They say, woo! Katie Holmes still don't show up. Oprah like, Katie Holmes. Tom like, oh, man, you know, she gonna freak out. I be tripping. Oprah said, well, is she not gonna come out? Tom, why don't you go in the back and you get it yourself? Tom walks off the stage. He take off. He start going backstage. The cameraman chasing him while he got there. Jerry Springer chasing Tom. Tom running backstage. Grabs onto Katie Holmes. Brings her up on stage. Katie Holmes clearly stressed out. She don't say a word. And in all seriousness, look closely at this picture. Look how Oprah is grabbing Katie. That was kind of interesting to me. Like, they're like on one side. Tom is on the other. Like, let's stay over here. Tom grabs Katie Holmes, started hugging her. Oprah clearly stressed out. She's trying to keep it people. You could see it at moments. Like, she just like, oh my God. And the interesting part about all this is this was actually a huge hit for Tom Cruise's career. Like I told you in the beginning, people thought he was like the Hollywood golden boy in a sense. The Scientology stuff started coming out around this time too. So people thought basically like Tom lost it. But well, over the years, he slowly rebuilt his image by just completely staying out the way and focusing on making movies.
Why?
This is crazy.
This is crazy. Look at this.
And then leave it. In America, a lot better, honey. We've already got 3 items.
I can refill this 1,000 times.
Yeah, but you won't drink 1,000 cups of
No
Coca-Cola.
need. And it's free.
You paid for it. You paid it.
Once.
The cheese balls with Mikey's house. No, time to come.
What?
I ask a medium size.
That's medium.
Ma che medium? Madonna! My entire family can drink from here for 1 month.
This is probably the best store I've ever been. This for $9.
Look at these. These are nice. What is this?
Your pancakes you ordered.
I ordered 1 pancake.
That's 1 pancake.
This is 1 pancake?
Yeah, welcome to America. You know, I used to be little like you. Now look at me.
I think we overordered, y'all. This is massive! For comparison. Tell me you're in America without telling me you are in America. I've just been handed my drink.
All this car stuff was I'm in heaven. What's that mean? I can get bread, milk, and an air rifle.
So what do I mean by the secret spells of the English language? Well, let me share with you what I call our premier life sentence. And it goes something like this. We awake each morning and go off during the weekdays to earn the living at various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. And this seems perfectly acceptable to most people. However, more people die between 6 and 9 on a Monday morning than any other time of the week. So I do what I call a translation of the English language, and I spell that Trance, with the idea that words cast spells. So when you translate that life sentence, you remember that awake is a funeral party for the dead. Mourning is the state you're in when you attend awake. And you would have to be in a weak daze to earn the living, since urns are for the ashes of the dead. We call our jobs undertakings. Job itself is a Hebrew word for persecuted. And what we get at the end of this perverse bargain with life is the weak end of the deal, as we become progressively weakened ourselves. And so our most prevalent greeting to each other is hello, the reverse of which is oh, hello. And at first, I suspected the hands of collusion entangling the language to foster illusion. And I think it's quite true that a culture's theology has a great deal to do with a word's etymology and how it evolves over time to combine incompatible meanings that may undermine the original thoughts it was meant to define. But now, I don't think it's planned, for the thing that I've found is that like concepts can gravitate toward the same sound and vibrate at the rate that our thoughts designate. Because words are electromagnetic vibrations whose fine alphabetic tintinnabulations can take on the tint of our true expectations, which may then imprint on our metal of mind, causing sounds to adhere when they're of the same kind.
Dude.
The body doesn't need any vitamin. What the body needs is a mineral. Because when you are sick with rickets, your bones, it needs a mineral. They call it calcium. But what about your prostate gland? It needs what? Zinc. But what about your brain? It needs copper and carbon. What about your blood? It needs iron. And so it goes throughout the whole biochemical makeup of the body. The body needs minerals, not vitamins. Why does the body need minerals? The body could only assimilate minerals. Why? They are electrical. They are natural.
Why is the frickin' world run by pedophiles, right? Why are the evil people always in charge? It's because in exchange for their lusts and whatever they want, these fallen give them power, whatever they want, to push whatever the fallen's agenda is. And they use these people. It's not coincidental that out of 100 frickin' people in office, like why is 99 of them all screwed up?
What they call aliens is actually demons, or fallen angels.
So the connotation of aliens. So the quick answer is yes, I believe that there are other life other than ourselves, but the connotation aliens comes with it, that are evolved life that formed by chance. Rather, I don't believe it in that sense. For my understanding, the word aliens implies that life started somewhere in the universe by chance, and aliens are these evolved beings from single cell organism or whatever they want to create this picture. What I'm saying is I don't believe in aliens in the sense of that life forms can evolve by chance. As a matter of fact, I know it's not even a mathematical possibility. I believe that they are fallen angels.
Antarctica, in our model, is the shoreline that surrounds the world oceans. So after Admiral Byrd flew out there, he said he went beyond the South Pole and he found land bigger than the United States that no human has ever set foot upon.
Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this Earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
Well, it's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world. The South Pole, the center of a plateau, 10,000 feet high. The North Polar Sea is surrounded by continents slightly frozen. The Antarctic continent is surrounded by a belt of ice, frozen seas of at least 1,200 miles thick. Now the South is a plateau. It gets in some places 14,000 feet up.
This is Admiral Byrd, a U.S. admiral that did this huge Project High Jump. It was called High Jump, High Land. And from where he came from, past the South Pole, would put him in between Australia and South Africa. I think somebody would have seen land bigger than the United States over there. But what if he was just going out beyond Antarctica? What if there's more land out there? So as soon as he did that, he went on a news show and he mentioned that. And 6 months later, he died in his sleep. So if you want to go to Antarctica, it costs you a fortune, but they'll take you to, that little tip that sticks off the bottom. And there's two little islands out there, Rothschild Island and Deception Island.
You're telling me that the gas comes through here, passes through here to get through there?
Yeah. What do you think? It's fucking Bluetooth? What are you talking about?
These roadside cameras track you so well that police can even predict where you'll go. As Dale Hurd shows us, this data is not only collected and stored, sometimes it's abused.
There are more than 94,000 across the U.S., and the number is growing daily. In some locales, several of these ALPRs, or automatic license plate readers, can sit within just a mile of roadway. They capture your car's location, make, model, color, any dents, and even bumper stickers, and can turn them into searchable data points. They're also mounted on police squad cars.
The license plate reader went off on it and said it was a driver's license restraint. So it looks like on here, so she has a suspended driver's license.
It hits on a license plate, it'll pop up.
It's a pretty successful system. It's pretty easy to use. It can just kind of run in the background.
Police say license plate readers help them solve crimes. However, they can also be used to build a database about you, recording where you live, work, go to church, or even which political rallies you might attend. Smile, because these cameras can even capture who's driving. The photos are then uploaded into a giant shared database, which can be accessed by police and other government agencies. It's estimated license plate scans now reach hundreds of billions each year. Dave Moss, Chief of Investigations at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, says some police now want to use the tech to solve so-called future crimes, crimes that haven't happened yet.
This is one of the most pernicious and offensive technologies in the United States. It is misrepresented to the public in such a way that people think it's doing one thing when it's actually doing another.
And from the firmament, from up top, we all underwater, right? You say a lot of shit, gang, but I'm here to tell you a lot of shit that you don't understand, right? The animal kingdom and the moon. And why is the moon perfectly aligned with everything?
It in line with everything. What you mean in line with everything?
Did you know that no matter, they say we moving, and if we moving, we never see the dark side of the moon. How is this possible?
Yeah.
Right? We say we spinning, and the moon and the moon move around us. How do we never see the dark side of the moon?
Because the sun gonna keep it lit. The sun gonna light it up when the moon ain't.
Right, because the moon is both masculine and feminine. So at nighttime, the moon is giving us the light. In the daytime, the sun is giving us the light. But I got a problem with that. If the sun and the moon is giving us light, why is space dark? I mean, there's a lot of things that confuse me, a lot of things that I don't understand. Right? And if there's no oxygen in space, how is the sun made of fire? It takes oxygen to make fire. So a lot of things I don't understand. Yeah, a lot of things I meant to understand, right? But who or what brought the moon in orbit?
Has anyone else noticed how American history classes basically just skip over the Korean War? At my school, at least, it was like, yeah, that was only 3 years. It doesn't really matter. Let's move on to Vietnam. But I don't think it should be that way, because the US dropped more bombs on the small island of Korea than they did throughout the entire Pacific theater of World War II. And my theory is that they can't teach you about this, because then you would start to question the things you've been told about modern North Korea. Like, this whole peninsula had been unified into one country for centuries. But after World War II, it looked like they were going to move to becoming communist. So the US occupied the South and pushed a voting plan through the UN that told the Korean people they had to vote for one government in the North and another government in the South. But Koreans on both sides of the country were like, what? We don't want to do that. We want to remain one unified country. So people started protesting, but the US-backed dictator just unalived them, or threw them in jail, or burned down their entire village. So the elections went ahead with extremely low voter turnout, and the US said, we did it. We saved democracy. But nobody thought this would last, because the Koreans didn't actually want a US puppet government or a divided country. And they started waging guerrilla warfare efforts against the US-backed regime in the South. Then in the 50s, the Civil War broke out, which the US loves to divorce from its historical context to claim that the North offensively and aggressively invaded the democratic South. But this is not true, which is why the South got whooped even though they had the support of US ground troops. Because no Koreans wanted to fight for the US puppet government that was burning their villages down. So the communists were right about to unify the whole peninsula, and this is when the US bombing campaign began. And they burned every village to the ground and leveled every building over 2 stories tall, treating the Koreans with more brutality than what they treated the Germans with during the Second World War. In total, they unalived 20% of the population. That's 1 person in every family of 5. So the Korean communists were like, okay, we'll give up. Psych, we'll never give up. And they didn't. They just kept fighting while US troops didn't really know what to do anymore. They were literally complaining to their higher-ups saying there's nothing left to bomb. And they still wanted to keep fighting in 1953, but Stalin and Mao were like, okay, we should probably sign a peace agreement for a little bit. They're literally going to bomb the peninsula so much that it falls off into the ocean. And they did. And that's how we got the borders of North and South Korea. Wonder why Americans wouldn't want to teach their kids about that in history classes.
You fell asleep. You don't know you fell asleep until you wake up. Why do our ears click every time we swallow? Your right hand has never touched your right elbow. Because of our cells constantly dying, we're all a little dead inside. Who taught the first teacher? Who died in space and found out we couldn't go up there without a helmet on? Neil Armstrong was the first on the moon. Who set the camera down to record him? The voice in your head never runs out of breath. If your parachute fails, you have the rest of your life to fix it. Why are our teeth warm? If the voice in our head talking is us, then who's listening? You are not in traffic, you are traffic. Why does sleep go by so fast? Who knew the first person to die was actually dead? If we can't see oxygen, how do we know it comes from trees? People have never seen dinosaurs, but we found a way to figure out what they sound like. We ain't never been to the sun, but somehow we have a temperature of it. We can't explain what our tongue tastes like. After we were born, people say we're getting older, but really we're just dying. We will never know what it smells like underwater. There's no oxygen in space. How's the sun still burning? How does medicine know which body part is hurting? How would we describe what water tastes like? Why isn't the person who created houses talked about more? It is possible for us to bite straight through our tongue, but our body won't allow it. Faded AF backwards is still spelled faded AF. If we can't see oxygen, how do we know that's what we're breathing? If we really listened to our parents when they said don't talk to strangers, none of us would have friends right now. I don't know if it's just me, but I've never met a baby named Karen. It's like they're just born 30. B, D, P, and Q are the exact same letter, just turned in different directions.
Now, when I ask this, I'm not trying to be racist or racially insensitive, but do white people not know what the fuck baked beans is? Because we supposed to be having a potluck, so I bring baked beans, thinking, okay, everybody gonna fuck with the baked beans, because my baked beans, yeah, they like that. They said, what you brought? I said, I brought baked beans. Dude said, you brought beans? And the way he said it, like, I immediately got embarrassed because, like, he made it seem like I brought beans. Like, I did bring beans, but they baked. And they got a little meat in it and some bell peppers and stuff. But he really was like, everybody looking at me crazy. Like I brought beans to the potluck. I didn't bring beans. I brought baked beans. It's a difference. Like, I really don't think they know what baked beans is, because I ain't never seen nobody trip out baked beans the way they tripping on me. Because I brought baked beans, and I'm really about to cry. Because I feel like everybody think I brought beans. But I brought baked beans, not beans.
Y'all had to walk out of here. Somebody just told me that my chili beans were good. Do y'all really not know what baked beans are? Like, is it a southern thing or something?
Wake up